Hey everyone, welcome back to Churning 101 on Churning State University. It's been a few weeks since I've been able to sit down and put together a video. Sorry for that. First, I had some work travel, and then my family and I just got back from an awesome week-long spring break vacation to Chicago. I will probably do a video about that trip and how I used points to cover the hotel and the flight, and then also some of the awesome activities that we got to do while we were there. It was an absolutely amazing, fun time. It was great to go to Chicago, wonderful city, and I got to do it all on points. And that's why I'm here today, to share some of that knowledge with you. So I thought that, after doing some of the introductory videos that you've seen here in the last few weeks or months, if you've been tracking with me, I thought what people really want to know probably is just the plan. How do they get started? What credit card should they open? And so that's what I'm going to go over really quickly today. I'm just going to go over my first 3, 4, 5 cards that I personally got when I started churning, and what I think are the best cards that you should get. For the most part, actually not just for the most part, completely, all the cards that I'm going to talk about today are Chase credit cards, and they are all subject to what's called the 524 rule. Now, this is a rule that Chase instituted a few years ago, and they slowly spread it out to cover every single one of their credit cards. What this means is that if your credit report shows that you have opened 5 or more personal credit cards in the last 2 years or 24 months, so it's 5 credit cards in 24 months, 524, then you will automatically be denied for all of the good Chase credit cards. I'll do another video to go in depth on the Chase 524 rule to help you understand exactly which cards are affected by it, meaning you have to be under 524 to successfully apply, and then which cards affect your 524 status. There's 2 separate issues at play there, and some people can get confused sometimes. Needless to say, for all of these Chase cards, you're going to want to have good credit, probably better than 750, maybe 740 for some of these. It just depends. If you're above 720, so if you're 730, 740, I'd go ahead and try to apply and see what happens. All that can happen, the worst is you can be rejected. In the future, I'm going to try to do another video to cover cards to help you get started. If you have bad credit history or no credit history at all, you really want to try to start building up a good foundation of good credit cards so that in the future, you can apply for and be approved for some of these great cards that I'm about to talk about. So, from here on out, I'm going to assume that you have not opened 5 or more credit cards in the last 2 years, and I'm going to assume that you have pretty good credit, about 750 or so. And I'm going to walk you through the first 3 Chase Ultimate Rewards earning cards that you should get. Card number 1 is the Chase Inc. Preferred. Now, this is actually a small business credit card that is marketed towards small businesses, entrepreneurs, anything like that. But you may not know this, but you are a business person. You have a business. Everyone has a business. If you've ever sold anything in a garage sale, if you've ever sold anything on eBay, then legally you're supposed to report that income on your taxes because you are doing business outside of just being employed at a regular place of business where you work. Most people, for a few bucks, they don't bother reporting it on their taxes. But if you are doing any kind of commerce like that, selling on Etsy, garage sale, eBay, you are a business. And if you've never done that before, then have a garage sale, and you now have a business that you can, with a clear conscience, you can apply for these small business credit cards. The Chase Inc. Preferred is probably the absolute best credit card out there to get right now. You get 80,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards points if you can spend $5,000 in the first 3 months that it's opened. Now, if you go back and look at my earlier video, you can see how I do spend every single dollar that I can in order to meet these minimum spends. But you need to apply for the Chase Ink Preferred first if you want to start churning, because it's subject to the 524 rule. So if you get more credit cards, you're not going to be able to get it later. And the 80,000 point bonus is one of the absolute best bonuses that you can get. Those 80,000 points can be turned instantly into $800 as a statement credit on your bill. Or if you just have that one Chase Ink Preferred card and the 80,000 points, you can turn it into $1,000 in hotel reservations, car rentals, or flights through the Chase Travel Portal, which is almost identical to Expedia. It's run by Expedia. So that 80,000 points is the best place to start, and you want to start with the best card, because the more cards you get, the more likely it is that you're going to be rejected for some of them. So start with the best bonus. Now, after you've got that Chase Ink Preferred, I would recommend waiting probably at least 60 or 90 days. So two things are in play here, right? You want to meet the minimum spend, so wait until you've spent that $5,000. And if you spend a lot of money and you can spend $5,000 in a week, don't go apply for the next Chase card a week later. You're going to need to wait at least 60 days, probably 90 days. If you space out your Chase applications every 3 months or 90 days, then you'll probably be able to go for quite a while before you start getting shut down or rejected by them. So anyway, you meet the spend on the Chase Ink Preferred. The next card that I would recommend for you is the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Now, this is the top of the line premium Chase Ultimate Rewards earning credit card. And I'm gonna just let you know the scary news up front. The Sapphire Reserve, or CSR, Chase Sapphire Reserve. The CSR has an annual fee, and the annual fee is $450. A couple of years ago, before I started churning credit cards, I thought anybody that paid $100 a year for a credit card was an idiot. And paying $450 just sounded ridiculous to me. Now, I do think that the benefits of the CSR more than make up for the annual fee. And the number one reason that the CSR is not as expensive as it sounds is that you get a $300 travel credit every year. Which is extremely easy to use. Any flight you use, car rental, hotel, if that charges to the card, they will automatically refund the first $300. So if you're the kind of person that likes to travel anyway, you're probably spending $300 on a hotel. That's 1 or 2 nights at a decent hotel in a lot of places, or a car rental or a flight. So you're probably going to spend that $300 anyway. Maybe not, but I was. And so that really gets you down to only paying about $150 a year. The other good things you get with the CSR is that your Ultimate Rewards points are worth 1.5 cents in the travel portal. With just the Ink Preferred that we talked about first, those points are worth 1.25 cents. So every Ultimate Rewards point you have is worth 1.25 cents if you have the Chase Ink Preferred. But all your Ultimate Rewards points, the ones from the SIP, the Chase Ink Preferred, and the CSR, any other cards, are worth 1.5 cents if you use them in the Chase Sapphire Reserve travel portal. Same portal, you just get more for your points. Anyway, I'm going to go more in depth on that in another video. This is maybe too much to get into because I've got a lot left to talk about here today. Anyway, it's got a big annual fee. It's $450, but you get $300 of it back. So you're paying $150, you're getting additional value from the travel portal, and you get a priority pass, which gets you into some airport lounges, quite a few actually. It's a good benefit to have. A lot of premium cards have it, but it makes the annual fee a little bit easier to stomach. So what's weird about what I'm explaining to you right now with the Chase Sapphire Reserve is that last year, Chase instituted a 1 Sapphire rule. There's actually 2 cards that you can apply for that have Sapphire in the name. The Chase Sapphire Reserve and the Chase Sapphire Preferred. The Preferred is a step down. It has a $95 annual fee. It doesn't have a priority pass. The points are only worth 1.25 cents. But you still get all these Ultimate Rewards points that can all be pooled together. But last year, they made it where you cannot get both Sapphires. You have to wait 4 years, 48 months from the time you get a bonus on a Sapphire card before you can apply for another one. So you're probably thinking, well, that sounds like I can only get the Chase Sapphire Reserve or Preferred, one or the other. And that's their intention. Now, there is a loophole in their system where you can apply for the CSR, Sapphire Reserve, or CSP, Sapphire Preferred, on one day. And as soon as you are approved for that card, so you need to be checking if you're not instantly approved, you need to be checking every day. And as soon as you are approved, then the next day, the next business day, you need to apply for the other one, and you can get approved for both that way. If you go in on Monday and you're approved for the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you wait till the next day, Tuesday, and then apply for the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Hopefully you're automatically approved, but even if you're not, you can call into Chase. I'll give you the phone numbers of who to call in for to try to push that application through, because if you get approved for one on Monday and the other on Tuesday, or any 2-day window like that, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then you can get approved for both and you can get the bonus for both. So what is the bonus? Right now, the best bonus for the Chase Sapphire Reserve is that you get 50,000 ultimate rewards points after spending $4,000 in 3 months. The best bonus for the CSP, the Sapphire Preferred, is 60,000 ultimate rewards points after spending $4,000 in 3 months. So what you're signing up for here, if you do that, it's called the modified double dip, where you get both cards by applying one day after the other. If you sign up for the modified double dip, what you are signing up for is spending $8,000 in 3 months. And I know that that's a tall order for anybody, but if you're strategic about it, it's absolutely worth it. So wait until you have big expenses coming up, whether that's paying taxes, paying tuition. There are ways to pay a rent or a mortgage check using a credit card. You do have to pay maybe 3% over what just that cost would be to cover the credit card fees. There are ways to do it. We'll talk about that in a future video. But that's, it's absolutely worth it to do that modified double dip, to sign up for that $8,000 that you're going to need to spend in 3 months, because if you're successful, you're going to get 50,000 from the CSR and 60,000 from the CSP. So you add that with the 80,000 that you have from your successful application on the Inc. Preferred, and you're looking at 190,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards points. Now, you could instantly turn that into $1,900 cash, or you could also turn that into 1.5 times 1,900, which I'm trying to do in my head, which I think is $2,850 of travel money, which is hotels, flights, or you can transfer that over to Hyatt for hotels, Southwest or United for flights. So those are the first 3 cards that I think that you need to get. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you 2 more cards to start thinking about and planning for, because I think you need to go get the Southwest Companion Pass. I think this is maybe the best value, the best deal in churning credit cards that's available to everyone right now. If you have the Southwest Companion Pass, then any Southwest flight you fly, you get to bring your companion with you for free. You only pay the taxes on that flight. So right now my wife is my Southwest companion, and if I take a work flight, like last year I flew to Washington, D.C. for a conference, I flew on Southwest to D.C., my work paid for it, I got to call up Southwest and just add my wife as a free traveler on that flight. So she came with me to DC. All I paid was $11.20 in taxes. When I've gone to Jamaica, when we went to Chicago last week, all these flights I've booked through Southwest. My wife is my companion. She flies for free with me. So what do you have to do to get this amazing value? Well, you need to earn 110,000 Southwest Rapid Rewards points within 1 year. and that's a lot. But there are a couple of credit cards that you can get that make it pretty easy. Now, I'm going to recommend that you think about the calendar when you do these Southwest applications, because when you earn the companion pass, it is good for the year that you earn it in, the year that you get those 110,000 points, and the next calendar year. So I got my companion pass on about January 3rd of last year, 2018. And that means that it was good for all of 2018 and all of this year, 2019. It doesn't expire until the end of this year, and next year, my wife, I think we're actually going to have her apply for the Southwest card, so she gets the companion pass and adds me. So you need to think about it in such a way that you are earning those bonuses on the credit cards and getting those points from the bonuses at the very beginning of January, or January, February, March. If you don't think you'll travel a lot in those first month or two, you just want to try to make it available as long as possible. So the two cards that you want to get are, number one, the Southwest Business Card. This card will give you 60,000 Southwest Rapid Rewards points after you spend $3,000 in 3 months. So you spend the $3,000 and then you're going to get that 60K. The other one that I would recommend, there are two Southwest Personal Cards. You can only hold one of them. There's the Priority and there's the Plus. I would recommend that you apply for the Southwest Priority. It has a $150 annual fee, but the benefits are considerably better than on the cheaper Southwest Plus card. So we may go into more details on that in another video. There's currently a in-flight link that I'll provide for you in the comments down below for the Southwest Priority card that gets you 50,000 points after you spend $2,000 in 3 months. So if you apply for both of these at the end of this year, say, so that you meet the spend and get the bonus at the beginning of next year, you're signing up for about $5,000 in required spend in 3 months' time. That'll get you 110,000 Southwest points and the Priority Pass for approximately 2 years. So this video is almost 20 minutes long already. I'm just going to give you a quick wrap up of what I suggest the plan is if you want to start churning credit cards. This is the plan that I personally followed. I threw in a few other things because my wife and I worked this plan at the same time. So I would apply for a card and meet the minimum spend, and then she would apply for that card or a similar card and get the minimum spend. So we sort of bounced back and forth so that one person wasn't getting hammered on their credit report as much. The applications were more spread out. But here's the plan. Chasing Preferred, followed by the Chase Sapphire Reserve and Chase Sapphire Preferred Double Dip, which once you complete all that, you will have approximately 190,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards points. And then also think about, at the end of this year, whatever year it is that you're watching this, towards the beginning of next year, go for the Southwest Companion Pass by applying for the Southwest Business Card and the Southwest Priority Card. So those are the 5 cards that I think anyone new to churning should be looking at, planning for, and figuring out how they're going to successfully apply for and successfully get those bonuses, because they're some of the best bonuses that are out there. I hope that you have found this video useful. I crammed a ton of info into it. I do plan to break out a lot of what I've talked about into further videos to go into just a little bit more detail. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Also, be sure and hit that like and subscribe button. So this has been sort of the meat and potatoes of Churning 101. This is really the syllabus of everything that I want to talk to you about in the next few videos in a little bit more detail. But I hope that you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.